Hey everyone, I just want to share some thoughts about God War Dungeon 1 and God War Dungeon 2. So, God War Dungeon 1, when that first came out, it was so epic that some people even used to skip school just to get the jump on other people with the Bandos items and the hilts and Saradome and hilts and all that. And it was very entertaining, and it had soul to it, in my opinion. It had soul. It still does, but just most of the drops are not worth it. It really is not. And between God War Dungeon 2, I'll compare it to it. God War Dungeon 2, after like, let's see, how much time? 34 minutes. After 5, no, I'm going to say after 25 minutes to 15 minutes, it's just fucking boring. I'm sorry, it is. And one of the reason why it's just so boring once you get 20 minutes into it is because these new bosses have almost a limitless amount of HP, and it's like, who wants to deal this much damage to these bosses or these new bosses? I mean, to me, it's a little bit insane. I think RuneScape went too far, and the same goes for Araxo. I felt like, and other people, personal opinions as well, that they said, and I said, that they went too far with Araxas and they were running out of ideas. So yeah, to me, it feels like RuneScape is completely running out of ideas. Now, I give credit to the person who made the first God War Dungeon. Whoever made that is a damn genius. It had soul in it. And every time you drop the boss or any boss in God War Dungeon 1, it made you want to drop it even faster or learn the mechanics after thousands and thousands of times that you even fought that particular boss. So these, it's like you don't even want to learn nothing to it because the HP and the health is just, it makes it so boring. It really does. I think RuneScape, this is God War Dungeon 2 biggest flaw. These bosses have too much damn HP. I mean, this is insane. The fight literally takes 2 minutes. Some people can do it in a minute, but they have to purchase this, they have to purchase that, they have to make sure they hit all of the perfect abilities, so it could take a minute and 30 or even a minute. But that's just how, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's doing too much, and I know a lot of people can agree with me on that. And I've literally seen people, like I mentioned in the other video, after 20 minutes into the game, they actually teleport and be like, you know what, you can keep the loot. And I'm like, wow, what happened? And it'd be like, nothing, I'm just freaking bored. God War Dungeon 2 gives off that. It really does. It gives it off. The boredomness is just out of control. The boredomness is over 9,000. Now, after what, 2-3 months, when God War Dungeon 2 came out, now I'm not gonna lie, RuneScape saved their ass for about a few days, 21 days, 14 days with Telos when he hit the fan, because a lot of people were trying to get the new items and they went crazy, and everybody orgasmed on itself when they heard that they were going to be a god bow. So that kept people interested in God War Dungeon 2. But after a while, when people found out that Telos wasn't he wasn't as easy, to be farmed as people thought he would be, and that's just driving people insane. No matter how high they get their enrage, they still haven't figured out that Telos is just an infinite boss, meaning so you won't get bored with him. You can keep pushing yourself, but and they reward you a little bit of the higher the enraged, the more luckily you'll get with the loot. But it isn't like you guys make it to seem. Like the more enraged you guys get, the more drops you're gonna get, or the more drops you're promised to get. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, it's just Telos with the enraged level is just to push yourself so you will not get bored, So once you finish at 0 enrage, you're like, okay, this boss is boring, such and such and such and such, and then you're on to the next enrage, about 20 enrage, and then you can handle that, and then you go on to so on and so on, you get the picture. So yeah, I mean, I just think RuneScape is running out of ideas. They just should have kept it, simple, just like God War Dungeon 1. Like I said, the people who created God War Dungeon 1 was a fucking genius. Was literally a genius. Hats off to whoever created God War Dungeon 1. That was just outstanding. And I still go to God War Dungeon 1. Matter of fact, I'm going to make some videos about that probably after this video or later on today. So yeah, that's my thoughts about God War Dungeon 1. It's just outstandingly boring. Once you get the hang of it, it's just too much HP, and it's like you don't even want to farm it anymore, And when I mean farm it, I mean like constantly keep PVMing it, and it's worth it, but it's just not worth the HP, and it makes you run back to God War Dungeon 1 just to breathe, Like literally have you standing around at bank. And one more thing, here's the thing I think they messed up at, like I say, with the HP. God War Dungeon 2 literally will have you standing at bank, like thinking, what are you going to do? And you're like, okay, I want to go to God War Dungeon 2. And as soon as when you think that, the first thing that pops in your head, okay, these dudes are not easy. Their HP is insane. It takes minutes and minutes and minutes just to drop one single one, and it just makes you want to bank stand some more, and it's like, I will do Dagonite Kings, but their drops not worth it anymore. This boss not worth it anymore, and the only thing that pushes you is the loot to even run to God War Dungeon 2 is the loot, So yeah, it's just too much HP, and it's not worth the time. It really is. It's just too stressful. And that's my idea. Leave a comment in the comment section. And I'm out.